I am Lady in Red. My name is Raven Tillman. I'm applied psychology and a poli-sci major, and I'm class of 2014.
And so I cannot. And so, without any further assistance and no guidance from you, I am ending this affair.
You know what? This summer the audition announcement came out. I immediately bought a copy of the play, bought an audiobook, and just started listening to it. Like, the only thing I didn't do was like aggressively watch the movie because I didn't want it to inform my performance, especially before auditions. But once I was cast, I was just listening constantly and trying to figure out what exactly it was Intosaki was saying within each piece. And John was very helpful and also trying to help me get good interpretations of the pieces. And I was really just trying to be able to say, what would it feel like, what person am I talking to in my life that I'm trying to interact with right now. Actually gonna go to law school after I graduated, and I had this big plan made out, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna try to go to PC, whatever. And when I went to study abroad, they had this Stratford upon Avon residential, so all we were doing watching Shakespeare plays. That's all we were doing. And I'm like watching these plays, and the thought suddenly occurred to me, you really used to love theater. What happened to that? And all of a sudden I just changed. I was like, you know what, I'm going gun-ho on theater. And so when I got back, I was doing everything theater related. I'm working in the scene shop, I'm taking multiple classes. And when I saw the audition announcement for Color Girls, I was like, yep, sign for the universe. Must audition. And everything was history from there.
Music was my old man. And I could dance a dance out of time, a dance with no partners, take my pills and keep right on stepping.
It actually started with my mother. I had a very bad speech impediment, and her way of solving it was to make me do any form of public speaking, and that involved theater as well. Always liked theater more than I liked doing oratorical, and I always just liked being able to play up my energy. And I also thought it was a good way to learn how to relate to people, because you have to like sort of get inside their minds. And I think that's part of the reason why I'm still an applied psychology major, because I just love getting inside people's minds. My last monologue, which is Night with Bo Willie, that was extremely out of the box for me. I know all I have for that particular role is my mother. She's a very, very strong mother. She's very loving, very kind, and I could only imagine what would happen if I was little Naomi and I'm hanging out the window, what she would do in the event of my death like that. And for my other two roles, I just imagined like just sort of ex-boyfriends, and I just like, you know what, I'm speaking to you. This is my final notice to you. And that's something I was very able to sort of be able to practice with and be able to get those feelings out there. So those are my modern day parallels. There's also a piece that I'm doing with the other two members of my cast. I'm talking about date rape, and I was able to pull from my friends' stories on that. It's not something, fortunately, I've ever experienced, but I felt like I owed it to them to bring that piece to life as best as I could. I just want them to walk away with our story. I think it's very important. I've always been a big person on empathy and, knowing what other people's struggles are like and being able to view things through their lenses. So I would want them to be able to do that with us and know that, these are not necessarily our personal stories, but it is the story of African American women in America. I think first of all, you have to self-identify. I do self-identify as a black woman. There are a lot of stories involved in being a black woman in America. There's so many stories just being told within the play, and I think some of that struggle is definitely a part of that definition, knowing that, sometimes you really are at the bottom of the barrel, but knowing that you have the strength to climb out. I think that's definitely a part of the story that is being told, especially with the ending ensemble piece, knowing that you can get to the other side of that rainbow. I have never been more motivated to do something in my 4 years in Boston College that I've been motivated to do this play.